Hello and welcome to part 2 of my Elite Dangerous mining walkthrough video where I explain everything you need to know about laser mining in Elite Dangerous, which is the second most lucrative thing you can do in the game, as for getting money. Right, so just a quick recap. Part 1 I explains how to use the T6 and basic concepts of platinum mining and all the modules and things you need. So I'm not going to go and do that all again for this next part. So if you are new to mining, you should have a look at part 1 first before doing this. Now I'm including now the Python loadouts. I should have really put that in part 1, but I'd finished the video and done it. So I've added it into this second one. But yeah, so if you're going to start and you got enough money to buy a Python, then go back and see everything I did in the first one. It shows you all the basic mining technique. I will show some details in this one, in particular how to use the prospector limpets when you have two. They're just a way of getting a little bit more efficiency. Right, so first of all, let's have a look at the loadout of the Python. So this is it for a non-engineered Python. If you're at the beginning of the game, it's going to cost about just over 100 million, and it's very similar to the T6, just except you've got a bit more. Now remember what I said about the relationship between the amount of power the mining lasers use and how much your distributor can give. In this case, now we've got 6.1 megawatts, so we can do two class two mining lasers, so that's going to give us now twice as much mining speed, but also we can add a class one. Now, the class one takes 1.5 megawatts extra, but remember what I said about the capacitor going down. So generally, capacitor doesn't really run out by the time you've mined the rock. By the time the capacitor would have been empty, you've mined the rock, and you'll be on to the next one. It'll charge back up again. So this power works out about right. Still got the heatsink launcher in case of interdictions or you come face to face with a pirate. You got the same 3C multi-limpet controller, small refinery. This time we're able to get a class 3 prospector limpet, so we can have two limpets. That's why I need to show you something just additionally about how to use the Python. We've also got two class 3s. Now remember what I said, you need three limpets for each class 2 mining laser. So in this case, we've got 2.5 class 2 mining lasers, so that would be 7.5 limpets. But we've now got 10. And it is a question of the more the better, but there isn't really much else we can do with the slots. You'd get 32 extra cargo capacity, and I think the extra speed from having the extra limpets is more beneficial in terms of overall efficiency than the extra cargo space. But there is one thing you could do, and I haven't tried it and measured the actual difference, but you could put a fuel scoop in there, and that saves a lot of bother when it comes to selling your stuff because you could just find a place to sell it and go there without having to swap over modules. Because without that, if you're selling at more than 100 light years away, you're going to have to store a fuel scoop in a nearby station and ideally a Guardian frameshift drive booster as well if you've got access to that. And then at the end of your mining session, you go to that nearby station, swap these two over for the fuel scoop and Guardian frameshift drive, or if you've only got the fuel scoop, just the one, and then go and sell your stuff, fly all the way there, then fly all the way back to the same station where you swapped over these, swap them back to your limpet controllers, buy your limpets, and then go to and do your next mining session. So that's how it works. There's one other thing as well. The power plant doesn't have to be maximum on the Python. The smaller the better because it gives you more jump range. So in this case, you can get away with a 5A. And you can see down here, It's only 90% utilised. Now you could fit a couple of shield boosters as well if you're a bit worried about the pirates, because these shields are relatively weak. So hopefully you're proficient enough that if you do get pulled out of Super Cruise, you know how to boost away, drop your heat sink, and get clear of whoever it is that's interdicting you. As I said, always travel with 4 pips to 4 pips to engines and 2 to shields, so you can do a fast getaway. It's much better than that than having the 4 to the shields. Um, but it should be safe enough like that because again, it's quite fast. 348. You need about 350 to escape safely from anybody that interdicts you without taking significant damage. So yeah, so the difference in jump range by having shield boosts isn't a lot, and so if you are a bit worried, then fit those as well. That's it. That's the only thing. Now, if you're further into the game, and but you just haven't done mining, or you hadn't figured it out, and now you've watched this and you want to have a good go at it, then there's a more optimized loadout you can do, and this is now with engineering. So you can go for a smaller power plant because now you can overcharge it and add your thermal spread, and that'll give more than enough power you want. Thrusters maximum speed, frameshift drive maximum jump range, life support light for more jump range. Now the power distributor, this is the main thing. You do weapon focused with super conduits, and that's because um, en- the, the the power to your engines and systems is more than enough already, even with the weapons focused one. So you're not if you just did charge enhanced, you wouldn't get any benefit from buffing the systems and uh, engines, but you do get a good benefit from buffing the weapons because what it does, you're going up from 6 megawatts to 9.1 megawatts, which means that you can add more mining lasers now. So let's have a look at those. So we've got the 2 class 2Ds. Remember, I had 1 class 1 mining laser before, but now I've got 3. But these 3 are not normal class 1 mining lasers. They are, in fact, pre-engineered ones. So I just want to show you and talk a little bit about those. No self-respecting miner should be without these. Because basically what they do, and they're only showing us the normal ones here because unfortunately in this in Ara they don't have, oh sorry, Coriolis, they don't have the latest ones because they're new. So you just have to read that as pre-engineered mining lasers, and it should have the engineering symbol, but obviously because they're not in here, you can't show it. So what they do the same as a class 1. They've got a bit more range, but you don't need range because you should always be laser mining as close to the rock as you can get. It's a disadvantage mining further away. So apart from in some niche circumstances, so don't do that. But they only use half the power. So though I'm showing 1.5 megawatts, that 4.5 is actually 2.25 now. So I'm using 8.25 megawatts altogether. Now you could also use 3 class 2s, which would give you 9 megawatts, which is still within in this. But so 3 class 2s, and I think you can just manage 2 class 1s. But this works quite comfortably, and it's sort of a bit 6.5 to dozen. I think you can get slightly more if you had 3 class 2s and 2 of the new class 1s, because that would be equivalent. That would be give you 9 megawatts, and these ones would be 1.5. It's 10.5 against 9.1. So again, you're going to find your capacitor emptying a little bit more quickly than is comfortable. So you could leave off one of the new class 1s. So there's lots of combinations you can do. But basically, if you've got 9.1 megawatts from your power distributor, you want your weapons generally to go no more than 10% over that. So about 5%, like 9.5 megawatts would be good. But these class one ones it only use 0.75 megawatts each, but they do the same damage as a class one. So ideally, you want as many of them as you can get because you get more damage per power. But you got to bear in mind the slots you've got and everything else like that. So you can juggle around with those to get your optimum. I can only tell you in principles, but this is what I used, and it works pretty well. Um, Considering the number of limpets we got, because now we got 9, 10 limpets, so they can only collect as fast as what 3 class twos can manage. So if you had 3 class twos and 2 class 2 1s, the limpet's not going to keep up. So in effect, you're over mining. So what will happen then? You don't ever want the limpets to be too slow for the mining, because what will happen is the fragments will start spreading out, and then the limpets will take even longer to collect because they've got further to go each time to collect each fragment. So you want your limpets to be right on top of the fragments all the time for maximum efficiency. So as I said, this works out about right. So I would do it like that. But if you want to have a play with it, some of the other things, because everybody's got their own like little personal styles, and the way you do it, it might work out a bit better for you. But for me, it doesn't. Right, now this time we got 2 prospector limpets. So the idea is to keep them going all the time. So you fire a prospector limpet at a suitable rock. You're using your periphery vision to look at other suitable rocks. There's one behind it, so just move to the side a bit. Fire the second one. First one's got osmium and platinum in, so I want to mine that. So I fire that second one and target it. So I leave this one now untargeted, the one I'm on at the moment. That second one hasn't got anything in. Duplicates. So what I'm trying to do now is look around at other prospective rocks that I could mine, and I can see one top left there. So as soon as the rock is depleted, I'll be firing a limpet at that one, and now I'm looking at the rock, the round one, sort of underneath that one as well. That's going to be my next target, and I'm working my way towards the planet this time. That's my general direction, so I don't go over. There's a pirate behind me. Hope he doesn't come too close. I thought I got away from him, but I was just trying to save time this time. So you move away, farm a limpet. You've got to be careful not to catch up the limpet. Whoops, target drop down. Yeah, there's the pirate. It's getting within range now, which is a bit worrying. Programming limpet drone. So I'll fire my next limpet at the next rock. I think I missed with the other one, so I might have to go back for that one. I was too busy looking at the pirate. So whichever one lands first. So we want always two limpets in the air together. So that's got platinum in it. I can mine that one, whatever happens to the other one. So what I'm going to do, I did get it. So that one has also got platinum in it. Now the pirate has scanned me. I thought I'd run him off the radar, but he's back again. So I'm hoping that he's just going to fly out into space. I've just got a feeling it's going to come. So if you do mess up, there's sometimes a chance to bribe them with the stuff you've mined, which is always the best option. So he's not messing around. He'll ask you, I see you, my payday, give me 10 tons of whatever. It's weird. Oh, it is going now. I mean, I did run a long way. I ran him off the radar, then did another 10 boosts. I thought that'd be enough. That's depleted now, so I'm on to the next one. And rather than go straight to that, we got a couple of other rocks here. There's that one there. Yeah, missed it. So I'm firing a limpet at that. So I've got another rock to go to next, and then there's one below that. So that's going to be my next target. So now I'll leave that one going and go back to mine this one. Oh, he hasn't gone yet. He's gone up in the air, but I think he's leaving now. There he goes.
Asteroid scan complete.
So that one didn't have any platinum in. So I'd be mining this one. And then as soon as I finished that, I could see a rock on the left. It's going to be my next target. So that's the general thing. It's difficult to explain because the rocks are different every time. But what you're looking at is always having 2 limpets out all the time. So you fire one, target it, fire the second one at another rock, don't target that one, wait for the first one to land, see what's in it. If it's got platinum in it, just leave it there, or go and mine it. And then when you see what, target the second limpet, see what is got. If he hasn't got anything, then you know that as soon as you've finished mining, you go for the next rock, and so on. So that you're never waiting for. That's interesting. Why there's only 2 lasers going? I've got plenty of. Oh no, I mean, distributors run out. Looking. Right, I didn't have a limpet on that one, so it didn't tell me that it was depleted. Oh, one other thing. You'll see I've got the dot in the middle of my screen. Just in case you don't know about that, that's absolutely essential for mining. That's your target, you know, that you're using for your limpets. Wherever that dot is where the limpet's going to land.
Prospector limpet engaged.
18% is not enough. So there's one there, and there's one to the left.
Programming limpet drone.
So you see how the technique works on this one. As soon as that's cleared the ship, target it, and then get this one. You can swap between the two to see what's what. That one didn't have anything. As soon as I can target that one, I fire another one. That's got platinum in. So as soon as this one's out, I target it, and then I mine this rock. And then while I'm mining this one, I'll be seeing what's in the other one. And that saves an awful lot of time. It hasn't got anything in it, so now I know that as soon as I finish this one, I've got to look for another rock. And that's it. That's the only difference. So from here, it takes roughly 25 minutes to fill up your ship, and that gives you 50 million. So probably for 50 minutes a round trip. So 55-ish million an hour, something like that, using the basic Python. The engineered one mines a little bit quicker and jumps a bit quicker. So you're probably up to about 65-70 million an hour in that. But that's still not it yet, because you've now got the next stage. I'm not going to go any further than this, other than what I'll do just at the end here, I'll explain cutter build. That's it, finished. So yeah, I'll stop there. Let's have a look at the cutter. Here's the cutter, very similar to the Python, except for we've got more internals, so we can get more limpets. So in this case, 9 and 4 makes 13. And what that means now is we can go for the full complement of mining lasers. So these 4 here, so we've got 3 class 2s and 4 of the class 1 pre-engineered ones. Now, that is a little bit too much for the power distributor. So what will happen is the power distributor, the capacitor will go down quite quickly, and as soon as it gets to the bottom, you're going to overheat quite quickly. But generally, you can mine a rock before the capacitor's empty, because you've just got so much mining power. So this works quite well in a normal hotspot. I've added some shield boosters, but you don't need those. Same as a Python, really. Like for hotspot mining, you've only got to deal with interdictions. Anything more than 1,000 megajoules of thermal is probably overkill. So it's up to you. But most people with a cutter, they've got it all done out for strength anyway. So I'm just trying to think, is there anything else in here? No. So let's have a look at these pre-engineered mining lasers now, because they're not that easy to, they're not straightforward to get. You've got to do a bit of jiggery pokery. So if we have a look at them here in the wiki, tells you all about them. But the main thing is that for normal mining is that they only take half as much power as a normal class one. So four of them are equivalent to class two, but do double the mining. There's two class two ones are normally equivalent to class two, but when they only take half as much power, you can drive more of them. So you get these mining lasers in four locations detailed here: Zetian's Recall, Pride of Bitterwood, Champion of Commerce, and House Ascendant. What they are is they're mega ships, and they're in those systems, which it says. But I've only been to these two, um, and LTT 198 is permit locked. And when I did them, both these ships were in LTT 198. So I had to get the permit to unlock these lasers, which just meant running some missions for Torval Torval mining. They're the main faction in LT 198, and so I had to run those missions. But what you could do, you could take a load of platinum or anything else over there. Sorry, Torval Mining, to unlock them, you have to go to EGM 559, where they're the main faction there as well. So you go there. I think they were the main faction. Need to check that. But as well as doing missions, you might be able to bribe them into submission by selling a load of stuff to them. That would certainly work in LTT 198, but unfortunately you've got to get in first, which you can't because you haven't got a permit. So basically, you've got to rank up with Torval Mining, get allied with them or something like that, and then they give you the permit to go to LTT 198. Now, these mega ships do move around because the week after I did it, the Pride of Bitterwood had moved back to EGM 559. So when my friend did it, he went there to do the missions, found the Pride of it, and was able to buy the lasers direct. But when I checked that today, if I just copy that, see where it is now, and I go to here, and there's a search here, you just put it in, paste, and when you search, it tells you where it is. So this is it, Pride, and it's in LTT 198, not in EGM, whatever it is. So in EG 198, there's the main faction, Torval Mine. They're the ones you got to bribe to get the permit, by doing missions and things, rank up basically. So what you want to do if you're going to get those lasers, do a search for all of those four mega ships and see where they are, and then see. You have to use the galaxy map to see if those systems where they are indeed permit locked. So this one is. EGM 559 isn't, and I don't know about those other two. I didn't check them. So check those out before you go there. And then the next thing you need before you go, you want to take the osmium, phosphorus, rhenium, and arsenic. Now, these two, so that's stuff you mine. So, and you'll be getting osmium while you're mining platinum. So you're going to have plenty of that. Just keep some of it from your last trip when you're ready to go and get those mines. Now, this is for each for those lasers. You need this for each one. So if you want 4 lasers, you're going to have to take 64 osmium with you, which a little bit more tricky. So maybe get one at a time after each trip. Phosphorus, you get out of the rocks automatically. As your limpets are collecting up all your fragments for mining, it's also collecting some materials, and it will indeed collect all of these, but these two not so much. So what you can do, you're going to fill up with phosphorus, carbon, nickel, iron, and something else, and maybe the next level ones. So basically just go to a raw material trader and trade them for these things. And what's going to happen after you've done a few sessions, using your Python or Cutter, whatever you're using, your materials will fill up to maximum. So you need to go to a material trader from time to time to trade all those down and basically empty them out, trade all that carbon for the next ones up. And eventually, if you do a lot of mining, you'll fill up with all raw materials. You'll have as many as you want of everything. So uh, I'm pretty sure you do get rhenium from mining, but not so much. So you'd have to do a lot of mining before you had 24 to use. Otherwise, you've got to trade it. So that's what you need. That's how you do it. And they really are useful. You should get at least 4, and you can swap them from ship to ship. If you use different mining ships, but they're absolutely brilliant for mining. Right, so that's the basic loadouts. I'm going to cover some alternative loadouts later after I showed you about mining with a Python, because the next stage was more advanced mining technique of mining in a hazardous resource extraction site where you get 50% more. But I'll be showing you that a bit later in the video. Once you become proficient at mining in a hotspot, how to use your limpets and how to choose rocks and how to fly around, all that sort of stuff. It does take a little bit of practice to get the real swing of it, so everything's working automatically. You can then go and have, if not at the beginning of the game, but if you're a bit further on and you've got engineers unlocked, so you do need engineering to do this. So I wouldn't try it without. It is vaguely possible, but I wouldn't do it. You can have a go at Haz RES mining. Now, the advantage of the hazardous resource extraction site is that you get 50% more fragments from the rocks. So before you might have got 40, now you're going to get 60. So if you're going to get 10 tons out the rock, now you're going to get 15 tons out the same rock. So obviously that's a massive improvement in efficiency. So ask yourself the question, well, why doesn't everybody do that? Because obviously there's a downside. And the downside is that from time to time, pirates are going to visit you and they're going to make demands for cargo. So give me 20 tons of that platinum you've got. You've got 15 seconds to do it. So you need to be pretty proficient at opening up your tabs and things to your inventory and dumping that cargo, because 15 seconds isn't really that long, especially as you got to maneuver up to the 20 tons as well. But normally it's doable. So you dump the 20 tons of cargo. The pirates say that's not enough. That's not, as he's watching it come out. But finally, when it's all come out, normally they'll be happy, and you'll see them scooping it all up while you carry on mining. Now, 20 tons isn't a massive amount because you're going to be getting 20 tons from the average rock. So you just carry on mining while you're doing it, and while you're taking out 20 tons, he wants his 20 tons, so just give it to him and carry on. Now, that's fairly straightforward, and you could do that in any ship. But the problem is that they often come 2 together, 2 different pirates, or even 4 together, or even 6. And so what happens there is that they all start making demands simultaneously, and you don't know what you're supposed to dump. Is one saying dump 20 tons of platinum, the other wants osmium, the other wants 563,000 credits worth of anything, and the other one wants 629 credits worth of anything, and so on. And of course, you can't dump all those in 15 seconds. So some of them are going to be unhappy. Occasionally, if it's 2 pirates asking simultaneously, and often for the same sort of thing, when you dump the cargo, they'll be arguing with each other who it belongs to. And I've even seen them say, that's my cargo. The other one says, no, it's mine. and then they start fighting over it, which is quite convenient for you because you just carry on mining. Anyway, if it's just one pirate, you can negotiate. If it's many of them, eventually they're going to start shooting you. And like what can happen is one comes, makes a demand, you start dishing his thing while you've got your panels open. You haven't seen that the second one's come and made his demand, and so you think you satisfied him, and then all of a sudden the other one's time's up. He starts shooting, so you better give it to me. It'll all stop if you give me the cargo. So then you have to like dump his. But by the time you've done that, another one's come. This is sort of where the problems come. So it is different every time, and I can't show you in the video because anything can happen. Um, so when you come under fire, by that time there's probably several of them shooting you, and even in a cutter your shields are going to start going down. So you have no choice but to run away. So you triangulate your position and then boost away, run them off the radar and a bit more, and then you can mine a rock. I normally just stop there, fire a prospector limpet, and 9 times out of 10, it's got plenty of platinum in it. So I mine that rock. By the time I've done that, you see the wake of the pirate. He's jumped out. So then you can go back, use your triangulation. I'll explain that later, to go to the same place and carry on where you left off. So sometimes you go all the way back, and as soon as you get back, the next pirate comes, and you have to run away again. And anything can happen, but you can get a session where you just go through the whole session, no pirates come at all, and you cash in. Um, Generally, I would say 4 out of 5 sessions you can just get away with negotiating with 1 or 2 pirates during the session, and it's nice and relaxing, and everybody ends up happy. But about 1 in 5, you get this onslaught of pirates where they all turn up together, and it's impossible to deal with. So, with that in mind, now we can have a look at the loadout. So this time you need some serious shielding. So the very best you can get. And unfortunately, the Python isn't fantastic when it comes to shielding. So you want 3 shield boosters, and ideally you'd want prismatic shield for A. But if you haven't got those unlocked, just a normal one, and done for thermal resistance. You got a choice of high capacity, fast charge, or whatever you want. I think I'd go for high capacity because you might need to weather a lot of incoming fire. The other important thing is the point defense, because as soon as those pirates turn against you, they're going to be firing hatch breaker limpets for all they're worth. And if you haven't got point defense covering your cargo hatch, you're going to lose all your cargo. You can scoop it all up again, but it's going to be a fight between you and the pirate who can scoop it up the fastest. So always point defense to save that. 1 point defense is more than adequate. You hear it keep going off, but they've never got through for when I've been doing this with 1 point defense. So that's it in a nutshell. Shields and as much as possible, and point defense. The rest of the mining is the same. So that's why I say you want to be a little bit proficient about it, because you just got other things to worry about now. The other difference is that you don't need the detailed surface scanner anymore, because you find the Haz RES by the Haz RES marker. You don't need to find a hotspot because it's the Haz RES marker which is telling you where you got to mine. And so it gives you a chance of adding a Guardian Shield reinforcement in there. It's not very much. And you could, remember what I said before, you could put a Guardian Shield reinforcement there for even stronger shields, and then maybe a Class 1 collector limpet in there for 1 limpet. That would give you 3, 7, 8 limpets. You've got to bear in mind a lot of fragments coming out the rocks now, so you do need a lot of limpets. So they're just, if you're not comfortable because you keep getting beaten up by the pirates, then an extra Guardian Shield reinforcement here might be an advantage. So that's it in a nutshell. And you could do some armor as well. Um, I've never bothered with armor in any ship, and you know, you've got nothing to lose by engineering that for heavy duty, lightweight armor. But you've got no room for any MRPs, HRPs, or anything like that. So if you did that heavy duty, you're going to lose jump range. So it would sort of work if you've got a fleet carrier and you're just going backwards and forwards to that. Um, but otherwise, you're going to need your jump range to sell the stuff. And probably if you've got a fleet carrier, you've probably got a cutter by then anyway. So cutter's better than a Python. So let's just have a look at the cutter build then. Um, so this is a fully beefed up one with 3,500 megajoules of shields. That's easily adequate. You can just sit there carrying on mining while they're shooting you for a bit while you're trying to figure out whether they're going to be happy with um, the negotiations or not. With a Python, I think you probably might want to think about running soon after they start shooting because you're going to be going down quite quickly. While it's a cutter, you can tank it all and carry on your negotiations, give them more and more cargo, see if you can satisfy them. Because it's always better to satisfy them rather than run away. It's not just the time, but it's coming back to exactly the same place, which isn't easy. And you'll see later why you need to know where you are all the time and do things in the right way. So that's it. So you'll see now I've put Guardian Shield reinforcements in the two optional ones. Again, if you haven't got those, it's not the end of the world because you still got quite strong shields. But this would be the optimum. Um, is there anything else? Yeah. So now we've gone down to Class 1 refinery because we're only mining platinum and osmium, so you only, in theory, you only need two bins, and so that that gave us an extra collector limpet. So now we got 12, 16 collector limpets. And with all these mining lasers, you're going to see some seriously fast mining now. So we're now up to, in this cutter, in a Haz RES, you will be mining, once you've got the hang of it, 1,000 tons an hour. And 1,000 tons is worth roughly 270 million. So by the time you've uh, added the time for selling it and whatever, you're going to be up to 200 million an hour. So that's now comparable with pirate farming, doing the massacre missions in a low resource extraction site for the pirates, which gets you about 200 million as well an hour. Right, so that's it. So all we want to do now is go out and try it out. So I need to show you how to orientate yourself, how to keep in the sweep band of where you can mine and all that sort of thing. So we'll do that then this next section. Right, here we are to do a bit of Haz RES mining. Now the place you want to come to is Macua, Macua. It's Planet 2, and as you can see, there's a hazardous resource extraction site in the inner ring. There's two hazardous resource extraction sites in these rings. The other one's in the outer ring, so you make sure you get this one in the inner ring because this is the one that has platinum. So you go in just like you do in any point of interest, 3/4 throttle, and then when you get the safe disengage, just disengage. Now there's going to be a load of pirates there, obviously, because it's a hazardous resource extraction site. First thing, wherever you're mining, always switch on your night vision. So there's some pirates. Right, now, you have to mine in a band between 16 and 20 kilometers. If you go beyond 20 kilometers, you don't get the Haz RES bonus. So that band, each session you go about,
Scan
if you do it
detected.
efficiently and choose the right rocks, about a third of the way round. So you can do 3 sessions before you come back to where you started. And a session takes, about half-hour mining. So probably about 40 minutes by the time you've been to your ship and everything. and I think it's 2 hours for the rocks to replenish. So it's quite important that you know where you are at any time. So if you leave, you come back to the same
Scan
spot and
detected.
carry on from where you left off. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself mining over the same rocks, and they're all going to be depleted, and it suddenly becomes very inefficient. So what you normally do is start at the 12 o'clock position. So where's the marker? So if we're starting at the Hazardous marker, which we're just about at, just point to the planets. You need that as a point of reference. Oh, sorry. Before you do that, uh, you need to know which way up you're at, which way up you are. Because if you're going around, say, clockwise, and you roll, and you carry on and go the same direction, you're going to be going around anti-clockwise. So you need to keep the same way up all the time. So you do that by looking at the sky. This half of the sky has this orange band in it, which is like the Milky Way, and also those blue wispy clouds. The other half has a red crescent in it and a little tiny red nebula as well. Don't know whether you can see them anywhere from here. The two halves look like different colours at the moment, but if you go on the other side, then this one will go dark and the other one will go light. So let me just come through the rocks and then you might see the nebulae. Now the pirates won't attack if you haven't got any cargo. So let's see if I can find that red thing for you. There it is. So you can choose which way up you want to be, but you want to stick to it all the time. So I'm going to put that underneath me and the yellow sky upwards. So now what I do, I fly towards the planet until I get to my 16 kilometers. Now the 16 kilometers I don't think is exact. It's a question of the nearer you are to the center of the resource extraction site, the more likely the pirates going to come for you. But they come anyway, so sooner or later you're going to have to deal with them. Now you'll notice that there's a lot of white uh, weight markers there because the pirates scanned me, and then when they saw I hadn't got any cargo, they went off. So sometimes the pirates will follow you out. So if there's one following you, just stop, let him scan you, and then carry on. Once he's scanned you, you'll go away about his business. So right, I'm 16 kilometers now. I've got the sky the right way up. So now I want to go round. I'm going to go round anti-clockwise. So see the yellow sky above me. I've got to keep it that way all the time. So as a general rule, you want to keep your wings level and not roll. Try and maneuver around by using your side thrusters and up and down thrusters more than pitch and roll. So I'm 18 kilometers out. So you can see the pirates fighting in the distance. They're always there. I'm just going to go a little bit closer, so I'm sort of in the middle. So 17 and a half would be about the middle of the band. Not that it matters, as long as you're in the band. So my goal is to mine as many rocks as I can without going further than 20 and nearer than 16. And when you go over 20, just point one over and you don't get the Haz RES bonus. So that is quite important. But if you've accidentally stray out and you find a rock with 60% platinum in it, you might as well mine it because that's still a good rock and you're going to get 20 tons out of it or something. So it's not an exact rule where you can and can't mine. And there is actually quite a lot of platinum outside that 20-kilometer line, but you get you just don't get the 50% bonus that you get here. So he's got 51%, so I'm ready to start mining. Now you're going to see how quickly this does it. Whoops, got to be pimps. 2 systems this time in case you come under attack. Cargo hatch. Come out. Rocks make good brakes. Because the cutter you can't stop once it starts moving. So you don't want to roll with the rock because you're going to lose orientation quite quickly. So if you look, the Haz RES marker on my mini radar is right on the edge, and when it's in that position, it basically means that you're going round in a circle. So you just keep it there all the time. But of course you can't, because sometimes you've got to go away from it to find her. Sometimes you've got to go nearer. I'm not doing it very efficiently because I'm trying to talk at the same time. So got that one. Now on to the next one. I think I did that one, didn't I? Did I? Yeah. So we've now got to look for a rock, and obviously you can't go too far away from your line because you're going to get too close to the pirates. So actually this rock's nice and slow moving, so got that one.
Prospect limpet failed.
So the other one's got 30%, anything over 25%. So that one's not got enough.
Asteroid scan complete.
Those limpets are taking time.
Asteroid scan complete.
Here we go. So anytime if you want to know your distance, just so I targeted that limpet, just detarget it, and it tells you 16.7. So we're getting a little bit close to the inside.
Limpet drone. Prospect limpet failed.
So I generally want to head outwards afterwards. Should do this one a bit better because I was busy talking at the other one. What you want to do, keep your nose as close as possible. Give the limpets a nice straight path to and from the rock. Oh, looks like I missed without the limpet. I was too quick.
Warning, temperature critical.
So you can see now the distributor is the capacitor's emptying because I've got so many lasers. But that's the rock empty now anyway. So what's that other one? So I've got to go sort of backwards. There's the horizon, so I can keep the right way up. That's it.
Programming limpet drone. Programming limpet drone.
So what I'm going to do is I'll just do a little bit more so you can just see how I keep the distance. That's got no platinum. So always look where the rocks are, try and level your wings each time before moving on. So I can see I'm 17.2 kilometers. So with the dot right on the edge of a mini radar, that's going round in a circle.
Asteroid scan
So
complete.
I think I'll try that big rock over there. And this one above me's got platinum in it.
Prospect limpet failed.
So you'd be surprised how easy it is, or how difficult it is, to stay in the zone. Because the rocks are about a kilometre apart each. So, you know, by the time you've gone from one to the next, you could be inside or outside the zone. But what will happen periodically, oh, I forgot to mention the sensors. Sensors are very important. You need range of 8 kilometers. No more, no less. You know, like a couple, you know, 8.2 or 7.9 is okay. But the reason for that is that the pirates all over there, further towards the center, if your sensors are too good, they'll show the pirates all the time, and then you'll be worried because you'll see them there and you'll be wondering whether they're coming. But and if you can't see far enough, you won't know when they're coming. when they're actually a danger to you. But with 8 kilometers, when you see them on the radar, they're probably coming for you. That's all I can say. Not 100%, but I would say probably 75% of all the ones you see on the radar are going to come for you. So you can be ready for them. So that just reminds me, we need to, because I haven't looked at my inventory yet.
Programming limpet drone.
You need it all pre-selected like this, ready for if the pirates come, you need to dump it quick. So make sure you're ready to go on that. Now you notice I'm collecting some other stuff as well. Because I'm not doing it for efficiency. I'm just mining some other stuff for other reasons, but mainly platinum.
Limpet drone. Prospector limpet failed. Programming limpet drone.
So you see how I do the limpets, same as in the other resource in a hotspot. Just keep them coming out all the time.
Prospector limpet engaged. Prospector limpet.
It's weird because you get like a good run and then a not so good run, and you're in the same spot. You can get like 15 rocks with no platinum in. Another time, you get 3 in a row with 60%. So just bear with it when it doesn't seem to be working well. So I've still got that dot on my, exactly on the edge of my radar, so I'm holding my distance. So if I detarget this one, you can see I'm 17.6. I'm getting a lot of suitable rocks in front of me. So you could zigzag a bit more, because you don't want to go round too quickly if you're going to have several sections. So he's got 37%, so that'll keep you going for a bit.
Asteroid scan complete.
Okay, he's got 51% as well. So get your nose nice and close. And something that started a couple of updates ago, didn't used to do that, but you see how the fragments are coming out at an angle. They're going out to the side rather than coming towards me. But if you stop and then shoot again, sometimes they change direction. They're coming out the other side now.
Warning, temperature critical.
So when you get the temperature critical, to just pause a bit.
Asteroid depleted.
That's it's depleted now. Yeah, I'm full of materials at the moment, because I've rotated. So this is, remember what I said, you need to know which way up the sky is. See, I've got that yellow streak, so I know. But it's not always in front of you, unfortunately. Sometimes, if you're around the other side, it's going to be behind you, so it's not so easy to see. But you'd be surprised how easy it is when you're close up to the rock to start rotating with it. And then when you fly away from it, you go the wrong direction. So just be careful of that. Even just sitting here, I just can't help but roll with the rock. Well, that's it. So see, even these 16 limpets I've got, struggle to keep up. If they come out nice and straight, it's normally okay. So right, that's it for now. What I'll do, I'll cut until the pirates come, and if they don't, you won't see it. I'll have to. Well, I did explain before what happens. They'll ask you for cargo, and all you have to do is dump what they ask for and use the abandon, so your limpets don't try and collect it up again.
Asteroid depleted.
And then it's just a question of luck whether any more pirates come. But you're going to get some idea, because you will see them on your radar.
Programming limpet drone. Prospector limpet failed.
See, once the last limpet's picked up the stuff, you can move on.
Programming limpet drone.
But don't let the rock get between you and the limpets.
Prospect to limpet.
90%. That's
failed.
got osmium as well. That's 24%.
Asteroid
So that's just
scan
about on the
complete.
border. What's this one got before I move on?
Prospect to
It's
limpet
4% osmium.
engaged.
So osmium's worth keeping when you're going for platinum.
Asteroid scan.
And a general rule is 25%, but you know, you do mine these so quick, you know, it's sort of something for nothing. Because they're all going straight out the side. And that just slows down the limpets a little bit. Seems to be a worse problem today. It's weird, sometimes it does it, sometimes it doesn't. I'm not too sure what caused it, but it started a couple of updates ago. Before that, they always came straight to you.
Warning. Temperature critical.
You see how quickly this ship overheats once that capacitor's empty. Oops, I've rolled again. So that's it. Hopefully I'll have something to show you later, but if not, that's the end of the video. So you can have a go at this once you got used to mining. It's a bit more interesting than normal mining because you never know when whether they're gonna come or not.
Expired.
And then when they do, it's a little bit of excitement as well. But overall, you know, because you're getting 50% more, it's always worth coming here, even if you lose occasionally. You know, you have to give a load of stuff to the pirates, or you have to run away for some time. But yeah, you have to take the rough with the smooth, basically. So I'm pointing right away from the marker now. So if I just detarget 18.5, so that rock is probably a little bit too far away now. That one might just make it, but I might as well start turning back towards the marker. So that one's right on the edge. That's going to be 18.5 as well. And then the one above it is going to be about the same. That one up there, there's a couple up there.
Programming limpet drone.
But when the dot on a mini radar goes solid, you're going towards the marker, and when it's hollow, you're going very slightly away from it. So it's right on the edge now. So the distance will hardly change like that.
Limpet expired. Prospector limpet engaged. Programming limpet drone. Asteroid scan complete.
So you should be looking around all the time for the next target rock, so you don't waste any time.
Asteroid scan complete.
So that's it. So right, I'll see you later when the pirates come, if they come. Right, here come the pirates. There's two on the radar at the moment, so I don't know whether they're separate ones or in a wing. So he wants 20 tons of platinum. So let's give him 20 tons. And let's see where the other... Now, looking at those radar now, there's more than one pirate there. Keep dumping cargo, victim. And he says you made the right choice. So he's happy now. But he's still got that other one just on the edge of the radar. So look at the panels. Andy Crawley, it's the only one that's mentioned. So was that the one that gave me the message? Yeah.
Asteroid scan complete. Prospector limpet engaged.
So that looks like that's it. They're not going to bother me again. Right, I'm full up now. But before I leave, if you want to do another session after this one, because bear in mind it only takes about half an hour a time. If you do it right, half hour to 40 minutes, something like that. You need to come back to the same spot, otherwise you're going to be going over depleted rocks. So, where am I now? I'm 18 kilometers out. So what I'm going to do now is point at the planet and see where the marker is. Should be more or less in line with it, I think. So there. So remember, I started off going towards the planet and then I came round in an arc this way. So I've gone about just over a third of the way round. So this is really handy because that mark now, the resource extraction site, is right on the edge of the planet. So when I come back, when I'm 18.6 kilometers away from the mark, and that mark is right on the edge of the planet, and the yellow sky is
Collector limpet
upwards. Just
expired.
check I got it the right way around. Yeah, I can see the red crescent thing just in the sky there. With the yellow sky above me and the red crescent below me, I will be in exactly the same position,
Collector
and I
limpet
can carry on
expired.
going round without going over the same rocks as what I've already been over. So that's it in a nutshell. So Haz RES is all about positioning, keeping in that band, knowing where you are at the time. And what will happen now when I come here the next time and carry on round, so I'll get about maybe three quarters of the way round the next one, and then the next round I'll get a few pristine rocks, but then eventually I'm going to start coming across some depleted ones. So the yield will go down a bit then because you have to get a lot more prospector limpets out onto maybe all the rocks that you missed the first time round. But because you don't know which ones they are, so you're just going to keep seeing depleted rocks. And the thing is, you'll always choose the same sort of rocks, so it's not easy to find new ones. But after 2 hours, they replenish. So normally you can do 3 quick sessions, um, and then by that time it's 2 hours. You've had a break anyway, and then 2 hours up, and then you're starting to get pristine rocks again. So just watch out for that. That if you do start going over the same rocks again, maybe just take a break, and then because don't forget it's 2 hours when you first started. And as long as you keep going around the same way again, if you start going the opposite way round or random places and that, you'll never know where you are, where you're going to get good rocks and where not. And of course, all this only applies if you do several sessions in a row. So if you only come here for one session and then go and do something else, it doesn't matter where you start, as long as you keep in that 16 to 20 kilometre band. Right, so that's it. Now all it is I'll go back to my fleet carrier to empty out, get some limpets, and back again for another session. So, and this one, pirates are quite cooperative. I only had one. As if they come at you one at a time like that, they're dead easy to deal with. Just give them what they want. Um, they don't ask for a lot. But as I said before, the problem is when you get 4 different ones all come at the same time, and then that's normally the trouble. So you'd use the same technique. This is why you need a bit of a shield tank. While they're shooting you and you realise they're
Collector
not going to
limpet
negotiate,
expired.
you've probably lost 2 rings of shields by now. And so you need to take your bearings like that and then fly away anywhere you want, just boost away from the pirates, ideally away from the resource extraction site marker, so that you're going further away from it. And you go out to about 40 kilometers, just keep boosting. And by that time, you left the pirates long behind. Uh, as I said before, just put a limpet on a couple of rocks. Normally, it's the first one's got platinum in it. So mine that. And by the time you've done that, pirates are gone, and then you can come back. And because you've taken your bearings, you can come back in exactly the same place. So another time, if you were say that marker wasn't exactly on that edge, it could be anywhere else. Just point directly at the middle of the planet, and then make a note of where it is on your mini radar, because that's where you got to get it again. And you have to do a bit of weighing up where to be to get it like that, but it isn't that difficult once you get the hang of it. And yeah, so that's what you do if you have to run away. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you've got any comments or any questions, any comments, any ideas for how to do it better, please put them in the comments uh, below, and I'll try and evaluate them. I'll have a go at any suggestions, and then we'll see whether it works better or not, and then we can share that knowledge. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in another video.